So this is season 2, episode 4, the message.
Yes. Season 2, episode 3 or 4?
4.
Episode 4.
Because it goes the first one, then the pony mark, the jacket.
Right. Yep.
So this is one of my favorites. But yeah. So what? No, not at all.
I like opening up that Jerry's talking about soda because you don't see these commercials anymore.
We have soda.
But yeah, they used to be really animated. Mountain Dew was like huge for that.
Right.
It was like always a hot day. Like I've never seen any of these places. These people chill that.
Even really just Coke and Pepsi commercials too back then were wild. There was just people like water slides were always involved.
Yeah, there was water slides,
like
but
Mountain Dew was extreme.
They were like jumping off of like waterfalls. You know what I mean? Like Wissahickon, but if it was cooler.
Right. Like if
you know what I mean?
Clean
it's all
Wissahickon.
jumping and everybody's like, everybody's fucking drinking Mountain Dew.
Yeah, they really.
You know, it's funny. When I was a little kid, I was never allowed to have Mountain Dew.
Well, you know what they say.
I don't know why I didn't.
Well, they say it lowers your sperm count.
Well, I didn't know. Well, I don't think. Yeah, but I don't think our parents knew that. This was like the fucking late '80s.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I think it was also before most of those chemicals.
He gets into this because he's claiming that all commercials are unreal, and if you were at home, it would be you just falling off the couch eating chips. But he's like, I love it. He goes, the soda commercial. What about those soda commercials? He says, we have soda.
We have soda. We have soda.
Jumping, laughing, flying through the air.
Yeah.
It's like his quotes in this season are really on point.
Yes, they are.
These peas are bursting with country and fresh flavor.
What did you say earlier, Mike? That you said there were always tires involved in the commercials and rope swings?
Oh yeah, there's always a tie. Anything with wheels. They were like it's super extreme.
It was very extreme.
What?
Mountain Dew, quite extreme.
Yeah, it'd be like people rolling down hills in fucking tires. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like
no one even does that.
Of course, nobody does that. It's dangerous as
Well, it's
shit.
like now. You know the
it's
thing.
It's not fun either.
You know the video.
I don't think it's fun at all, even if you're sitting in there. It's fun if you're watching, laughing at the asshole
rolling
in the tire.
No, fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck rolling in a tire. Jesus. No, but yeah. So it opens like that, right? And then it gets them the first scene.
We go on the George is going over the details of his date.
Yes. Yeah. And it's like a flashback, right?
No, not his date. I'm sorry. He's his buddy at work. Lloyd is talking to Lloyd at work.
Lloyd,
He's trying to call a girl, and he wants to sound casual.
Yes. So he says...
He's eating apples.
Yes, he says he's going to eat apples.
George has got this thing about...
Schemes.
Right. He's always got to be casual. I don't know why he just doesn't act casual. He's got to, like...
Well, he's like an overthinker, you know what I mean?
Right. Right. He's got to be... eating an apple. So
really, it helps the situation. It makes you just seem like you don't care and you're not too worried about it.
Yeah, you're a little. And I get it to an extent. You know what I mean? To an extent, I get it.
Chopping away on a fucking apple while you're asking someone out. I mean, you really aren't too concerned about.
Well, it's like
the
if
outcome.
you're like cracking peanuts when you like call somebody to say sorry their mom died or some shit. It's not very sincere. You know what I mean?
It's not sincere because you're cracking peanuts.
Well, you're doing a very trivial
the
act.
most insincere food you could eat.
Oh my god, it's all silly. Plus, you gotta crack it.
Yeah,
what if you were cooking bacon?
I mean,
that's actually
it's a little more sincere, but
no, I think
still, I feel like you have to for some things like that. You have to do a full focus on, which was another part of.
I took heavy note of outfits in this episode because you know.
George wears a suit a lot.
Well, George is wearing
the overcoat, the suit.
Oh, the reason though, you know why I wrote down a lot in this? Because the last episode was the jacket. Jerry's jacket got ruined.
Yeah.
We seen him go through 2 jackets and then onto the varsity jacket. But then, you know, in the stand up he's wearing an olive button up and a brown blazer. Then in the scene 2, he's at the restaurant with Jerry. George is wearing his trench coat, kind of like work gear.
Yeah, his overcoat.
Jerry's wearing a nice suede jacket.
Yeah.
He bought another one.
He bought another suede jacket? Sure. Why not?
We're just showing that this guy's got... He's made of fucking money.
Yeah.
Jerry's made of money.
Yeah, Jerry's got... You wonder if he's maybe Kramer's...
right?
Plug.
You never know.
You know?
Who knows?
But this rocks out... so, yes, they're talking about obvious attraction. He talks about Dan Quayle. Roman has no idea who Dan Quayle is. Remember, he spelled tomato wrong in the 90s and went potato, tomato, whatever the fuck. He spelled a word wrong in an elementary school.
They never let him live it
and
down.
it just his career was ruined.
He wasn't smart. What are you gonna do?
He didn't ask the girl out. This is George. He froze, as you guys were saying. Chewing makes him sound casual. They're sitting at the counter in the restaurant.
They are.
They're often moved around. They do not have their.
They're
booth
not
yet.
exclusive
Yes.
to the booth yet.
They're really.
They move around, right?
Yes. So. What do I Why do I have? I don't know what I wrote right there. But anyway, George gets the date. And he loves it that they both have dates on the same night. He says it hasn't happened in forever.
Never happened.
Yeah.
You know. So this is where I had this written down. Just as like a fact, this episode was written in 2 days because they had to make a fast replacement for an episode that they didn't. They never shot that episode. They just had it ready to go, and it was called The Bet, aka The Gun, and that's all I had. Drew, you had the facts, so why don't you let them know what that was all about?
So, in short, they wrote this quickly, based off an experience Larry had, where he left a bad message. But I think it was more about a relationship, somebody else.
Yes.
But he had
I have that written down
His
somewhere.
whole thing was he wanted to. Long story short, they wrote this quickly. Larry had originally wrote that skit for SNL,
That's right. Yes.
and they didn't use it, so he was able.
Well,
to
he was
use
like,
it
"Yeah,
again.
no one has rights to
No,
it. We
right.
can
Nobody
run this."
used
Yes.
it, so he used it again. Okay. The reason they wrote it so quick is they wrote this episode called The Bet.
Real
Now,
quick, before
here's
you get into
where-
that, it makes me wonder if Larry's skit got picked up. We would have never seen this episode.
Never seen
It
this
would have
episode.
still replaced this episode you're going to mention,
Right.
and we would have had a whole another episode.
right.
You know, so.
Right.
But anyway, so this replaced.
This replaces an episode that got pulled because it was too controversial.
But it never got shot, right?
I believe no, it didn't get shot.
That would be crazy if we could
it
see
didn't
it.
get shot
Yeah.
for all the reasons entailed. But it's really wild because it takes a hard left right now. So in this episode that never came out, the bet was that Jerry was trying to bet Elaine that she should buy a handgun for her own protection.
Yeah.
Okay?
Bet her $100 she wouldn't do it.
Bet her $100 she wouldn't do it. But she's buying the gun from Kramer's friend.
Yeah, Kramer's plug. I wonder if
Which
it's
is-
Brody with the feed bag.
Dude, that's what I was like. What? Because what's crazy is they definitely
wonder who
had
it is.
somebody in mind.
Oh yeah, I
You know
think
what I'm
I
saying?
think it
I'd
would have
love to
probably
see
been.
the
I think
script
it would
for
be.
that.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say
I'd
the
love
script
to
probably
see the
exists.
original script for that somewhere.
Yeah, for real.
Because
I wonder if it
it's
was like
wild.
Bob Sacamano or Raymond Schneider.
Subplot during the chaos that's ensuing with Jerry and Elaine and the gun, Kramer takes a trip to Puerto Rico
Yeah.
for a week or whatever. On his way back, has relations with a flight attendant.
Mile High Club, if you will.
Right, Mile High Club. Comes back, tells George. George doesn't believe him.
Well, with a flight attendant, a stewardess.
Flight attendant,
Yeah.
which tells George. Then they're going to the airport to
Go prove it.
to basically
to prove
he's
that
gonna
to George that he
confront her.
didn't.
Yeah.
so he could bet him. I guess.
Well, George is
that.
always enamored with other people's sexual escapades.
hilarious.
So for
But
Kramer to tell him that, he
what
would have
a-
definitely
what a-
said, "Prove it."
what a great episode that would have been.
Oh, that would have been.
Why
amazing.
didn't it get put out? And it only go like they have what a crazy.
They put out much more controversial content with the
Later on, yeah.
what's the one the speech
If you want to
Oh,
look
the
at
Nazi
some
one.
any
the
of the,
not what's the one where they take
Yeah,
the limo
the limo.
the limo
the
O'Brien.
game.
O'Brien
O'Brien, yeah.
and the speech, you know,
Yeah.
that I mean that right there is there's guns of I mean they open up the guy has.
I think this was it was just
Do you think it was just going to paint them in a bad picture, buying a gun,
And
buying
it was,
it from Kramer?
also pretty early on.
Well, that's what I'm
Like, they
saying.
didn't
Yeah, it
really
was.
have
Do you know in the shortened version
funny,
I have where they
you
mention
know,
this,
I don't
I thought
think-
the bet was the jerk off episode But I was like, oh, they must have just
What's
moved that
crazy,
to another
too, is-
season. But it's
You know,
a totally
this
different
was.
episode.
You know, you can't even have a handgun in New York City now. You know,
You can't.
What?
No, you can't own it there. I don't think.
What?
Pretty sure you can.
No, I think you can
Google
own
it
a
real
gun
quick.
there, but I think you get banged if you get
Google
caught
it
with a
real
gun
quick.
there. Illegally.
No, I don't. I don't even think you could own one.
Might be right. You might be correct. I'm not.
Yeah, Elaine objected to this. It was partially filmed.
Huh. And then Elaine didn't like the idea.
And in one of the scenes, Elaine actually holds a gun and says to Jerry, "Where do you want it?" Holds the gun to her head. The Kennedy
What?
holds the gun to her stomach. The McKinley, referencing assassinations of.
She
presidents.
says the Kennedy and the McKinley.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
The
they
entire
often-
cast expressed reservations and only had about 20 minutes of rehearsal before everyone agreed to shelf the episode.
Who wrote this
Deleted scene, Larry Charles. Yeah.
one? Wow.
Wow.
It's a really fucking.
That's a dark
Do you
twist.
know who
It's
Larry
grim.
Charles?
It's
You ever
grim, if
see?
you will.
You've seen Larry Charles in the show. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
He's like an
well,
extra.
he wrote a lot of episodes, right?
Yeah, he's like an extra, but he's kind of like a Rick Rubin looking dude. He's got like long hair,
Yes, yes, yes.
sunglasses, beard. You've seen him in several
He
episodes.
looks like he
as
would
an
have wrote
extra.
this episode.
I'm pretty sure that's Larry Charles.
Yes, yes. No, he's in many episodes. He has weird scenes where you almost think he's going to have a part because they make it so noticeable that you see him.
Right. Yeah.
Or if it's just because he does look like a young Rick Rubin. So, well, I
Yeah.
guess just Rick Rubin at the time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Interesting shit.
Yeah.
So, back to the episode. Okay.
So, okay.
Jerry.
We were at into the next scene.
Yeah.
So this is where I also so George and Carol are in the car. So this is there's another interesting thing here. George and Carol are in the car. George is wearing his trench coat again, and he's got a red sweater with a button up on. They are they can't stand doing laundry. 40 pair of underwear. You know, George just wants to keep
Yeah.
buying underwear.
George's conversation.
I wonder if so. Like my goal, I don't know if I've mentioned this to you guys before, but I this is my thought. Tell me if you wash a pair of socks 20 times, they're pretty much like you can keep wearing them, but that's a lot at that point. I wear them longer than that, but I'm just saying they get a little fucked up at that point.
Yeah.
So I had this thought to 365 pairs of socks. You keep a sock, you just keep a little sock laundry bin. You throw your laundry here, throw your socks in there. One wear, socks in there. At the end of the year, you do your sock laundry. That's Roman effing up.
shoddy fucking
Shoddy,
cameras.
yeah.
God forbid if they ever last the whole fucking
Right.
episode.
But anyway, let me yes, let me continue. 365. At the end of the year, I do my sock laundry. I get that's one wash on all of them. A full year. Till
How
they
much
have
you
their
think
second
that'll
wash.
weigh?
365 pairs. It's a
Yeah.
lot. We're talking a full
It's a
full
lot.
hamper.
You're talking
Yeah, but you're talking
90
just
cents a pound.
No, I do it here. I got
You're
my
gonna
laundry.
do it? Oh,
Yeah.
you have it.
Yeah.
You're gonna
How
do
long
it.
do you think it would take to do all?
Bro, mine could handle that in 2 loads, if not all of them. That handles big shit.
Maybe if you jam that fucker like a wood chipper.
I mean, I can get a comforter and
you
and
get
2
a
sets
better
of sheets
wash
in
if you
there.
leave a little more slack.
But I do like some space. So I'm saying 2 washes. It's done.
Okay.
Okay? But
I
I'm saying
wouldn't limit it to
then
the
there's a full
washes.
year. Then there's a full year. It's not even about the washes. It's just that full year till I have to wash them again. My point is, in 5 years, those socks will only have about 5 washes on them.
All right, but this is the
I
whole,
gotta account for loss too.
This is the whole problem with the whole plan.
Go
okay?
ahead. I'd love to hear it because this
You're
is
not because you're not eradicating doing laundry because you're still gonna have fucking t-shirts and shirts and whatever
no, I
you
hear
do
you.
your pants.
But I just did sock laundry, Drew. I got so many socks in there.
I did. I had the purge socks, dude. It got ridiculous. It got
and I
crazy.
only like one type of sock.
I purged the fuck.
I
Do you
don't-
know how many pairs of those? Remember Nike Elite socks? I had a billion
Well, I like
pairs of
20
those.
bucks. I only wear
Never
no
wear
shoes.
them. I know.
So like, but my point is right. So I thought that would be a good idea. Now I also wonder if This as a youth being heard in the background in my head landed that thought because
I'm
I
just
thought I
telling you.
came up with that, but this is clearly
my point is this: if I still got to do laundry, what the fuck difference does it make what I'm washing?
No, you're right. But like now you could go, oh, I wear 50 t-shirts and I throw them in a thing, but then now you're dealing with you got a t-shirt bin, regular bin, other bin.
That gets, I've
Yeah, it
done
gets
all
crazy.
that. It
Yes.
gets crazy.
No, I think the only way it makes sense, underwear is too much. One pair of underwear is like 4 pair of socks. 2 pair of socks minimum. 4 pair of these little ones, 2 pair of regulars.
Okay.
My point is, the underwear is too much. It's too much space, too much real estate. You're talking 100 pair of underwear is a lot.
That's a lot more.
200 pairs of socks, especially these small ones. Now, I wear no-shows. Your
That's
socks
true. You have-
are
You have a-
double or triple mine.
Yeah, yours balled up. In the, like,
That's what
when
I'm
you
saying.
fold
It
them
just
together,
might be
it's like
conducive
they-
for me. I have the small wicker jaw I keep in my
You're a
hand.
little
What if you
guy.
vacuum seal
Well, listen,
them,
I like
then
a
you
small
could,
sock.
You could
I
vacuum-
don't use.
I'm just saying. I just feel like it's
No, it's not the most productive.
Yeah.
But it isn't fully
you could
counterproductive.
vacuum seal
But I
them,
wonder if
and then you would
Seinfeld
really
made
save
me
space.
feel this way.
You know?
There's a few things that if I trace them back, I go, I wonder if it's from really liking the show and it just playing it in my head. But George is talking about how he would like to have underwear nonstop, just
Yeah.
keep buying and keep buying. I mean, they really paint George for George of all people to say, I'm just going to keep buying underwear. He's a cheap guy. George is doing well in these early seasons. You know, he's a real estate agent. He's wearing the trench coat. He's dressed nice. He's talking about buying underwear willy-nilly, drop of a dime. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, I just I was really trying to like pick up on
His date conversation is awesome because he's always talking about like
manure,
yeah,
bathroom
just
stalls,
like
toilet paper.
right, whatever.
Always about shit.
Right, you know,
Underwear.
right.
It's always about your nether regions and
How
what comes
toilet
out.
Paper hasn't changed.
Stalls
Yes.
to the floor.
Stalls
to the floor.
Yeah, stalls to the floor.
Manure.
Yeah, why
math.
is his
Mile,
date-
it's a mile with a north
Like
or
his
north
his
of
game
mile.
is just
It's terrible.
He's
it's
always,
terrible.
But it
he's
works for
always-
him.
You know what he's doing?
Yeah, if he doesn't shoot it down like we're about to see, but
Yes.
Oh, he's always talking shit.
Now this is where it goes
it?
to. It switches to Jerry now. Right before, I don't know if it's this is where we see it or if it's the transition to the scene George in the car, but they show the New York skyline, which they never do.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't even
And
notice that.
it is the Twin Towers are clearly
Well, of
visible.
course they are. Look at what
Yeah.
it is.
No, I know, but it was just one of them things where you're like, look at that at a different time, and that's something that they took out of the show.
Wait,
Also-
they took it out in syndication.
No. The
Oh,
different
yeah, yeah.
transitions, like a skyline transition. They were
Oh, yeah,
clearly
yeah.
painting that they were out on the town on a date.
Yeah, it's mainly
right.
just the exterior of wherever they
So
are.
this switches to Jerry in the car with Donna, and Jerry's doing a bad Scottish accent.
Irish. He's trying to.
Yeah,
go
he's
Irish.
Irish. Yeah, well, he's trying to do Scottish, but she says it's Irish.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, check this out. What's Jerry wearing? A different. Go ahead, Roman. I got you. He's wearing a different suede jacket. It's tan this time.
Really?
Now, he's wearing like a brown one before this and a tan one this time. They are the same as the expensive one. He went out and bought 2 more. I don't see the inside of Candy Stripe. All I'm saying is Jerry is just.
You know,
Jerry and
a
George
lot
are
of
rich.
Those are his jackets
Yes, but.
because there's
Oh, wait, in real life there is?
in like the show, like he wore it. Those were his.
Like his actual.
Yeah.
But my point is, they made such a big deal about this jacket in the episode just before. And now in this episode, he's in.
Well, it's
he's-
situational.
yes, but I was like, they'll never bring that up again. But if we paid attention to the amount of fucking jackets Jerry has,
Sure, yeah.
that him buying a suede jacket for say was $1,000 and it getting ruined, it's nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. He don't care. Jerry's rich, bro. So Jerry has a little more game. Like you said, he's making her laugh. It's whatever. She says, so they're in a car doing that. Now it cuts back to George, and what's her name? Carol. Carol says, "Would you like to come upstairs for some coffee?" George's response, "No, I can't drink coffee at night. It keeps me up." This fucking guy cannot read the signals.
No.
It's actually embarrassing to watch him say it because you're like, why? Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa,
Why
whoa.
would you say that?
And this fucking dickhead, it's crazy. That she can't believe it. You see her face. She's like,
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
like, okay.
she
Okay,
says goodnight.
loser.
Yeah, okay,
Right,
goodnight.
yeah.
Take it easy, George says. take it easy. Yo, listen to me. If you ever tell a chick, take it
Yo,
easy.
take her easy, bud.
If you might as well say, buddy, because take it easy. It's crazy. And George just right then, that's when he realizes like that
Yeah.
Like, have you ever had anything like that happen to you?
Yeah.
I mean,
Where you didn't realize some clear signals, even in any situation. I've had it in multiple situations.
definitely that, but I
Like,
was
why are you
never,
just not being clear?
I never hit her with it.
I've never
take it
followed
easy.
up with that.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And
I never put
like,
the nail in the coffin with take it easy, bro.
Yeah, take
Right.
What is wrong with you?
Right.
So it switches back to Jerry and Donna. She's getting her she goes, I'm getting my place painted. It's hard to say. My place painted, or I'd invite you up. And Jerry being as smooth as he always is, because he's already got it locked up, he says, see you later. That's fine. And she says, or we could go to your place. It just shows the difference between these two.
That's
like
right.
Jerry is just
And Jerry hits her with one of my favorite lines. Immediately, he says, "There's no cake if that's what you're looking for."
yeah. If we go back to my place, there's no cake.
Yeah.
Jerry is full of zingers.
That's right, because
Yes.
but let's lay it out there. You just said you were coming over.
Yeah.
we're not
Right.
coming over for cake.
That's what I'm saying. Jerry
There's
is
no
so to the
cake
point.
here.
George can't even get that.
No,
so-
George is just.
It
lost
cuts
in
back
this
to
whole-
Yeah.
George. He's driving,
Oh, he's
Yes.
sick.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
and
sick.
he's repeating, "Take it easy."
Yeah.
Coffee. He can't. He's going nuts. He can't believe it. I mean, he's such, and like that is George's whole issue throughout the whole series is getting laid.
Yeah.
Right. Or
You
his
know, there's other little
inability
things.
to get laid.
Yes, but his inability to read women. It's like, bro, you fucking, you're an idiot.
Right.
This you thought you fucked this up already in the office. You made it okay. And then you're just an idiot, George. You're just a fucking
Yeah,
idiot.
for real.
So they cut to Jerry's apartment on the couch with Donna. Again, Jerry's wearing an enormous white button up. It's like they're like you.
Time period that was.
And
she's almost matching him.
Yes, but I feel like they
Yeah.
did that.
It's like
with-
almost opposite.
I
but
think this was wardrobe.
And
I
I
don't
feel
think
like-
Jerry was picking this.
No. But I feel
Definitely
like it
not.
was almost one of the things where they're like, "Yo, he's the star. Put him in white." It really, because like at the dinner table, he's almost wearing the same thing, and everyone else is dressed in fucking olive. So, they're drinking orange juice. There's no way there's
I know.
alcohol in there.
I
They're
know.
drinking orange juice.
No, Jerry's drinking orange juice. Is Don even drinking?
No, I don't think
anything?
she is. Yes, Jerry is.
Yeah,
He's
Jerry's
drinking glass
having
of.
some orange. I have a glass
Yeah.
of orange juice.
It just
tonight.
shows how much more Jerry has no alcohol involved. He's already got
I
it
know.
locked in. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna have sober sex."
It's a weird beverage though. For
Orange juice.
he's
at night.
weird though. He don't drink ever, and it's interesting. Every time they bring up drinking in the show, it's like virtually every time they're like hammered. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like they never talk about drinking like
Yeah,
ever. As if they're like
it's-
not adults. But it's like, I mean, I guess I don't know.
So
But it is wild to see.
I guess they're he's wearing the khakis that gets mentioned. I forget exactly how it comes up, but
this is why do I wear tan pants?
well, yeah, exactly,
Donna?
tan pants. Why do
Tan
I buy
pants.
these?
Yeah.
She said cotton Dockers, and Jerry, you can just see she ruined the night right there.
Yeah.
He
I
goes-
hate that commercial.
Yeah.
He can't stand it. Roman doesn't know about this, but me and Drew had to live through this.
Yeah, it was
We
a cotton
we
Dockers
saw
commercial.
these
I remember
commercials.
this commercial.
Well, there was a bunch of different ones because remember they put out all different ones. They would have like stonewash ones where I don't know if you remember that one. They had the
I
stones
remember.
hitting it. The
I
waterproof
remember
ones.
one of them. It's like a bunch of dudes at a house, maybe near the beach down the shore or something, and they're kind of all hanging out on the porch.
wearing
There's hammocks.
khakis.
Yeah, and the one's on the
Beach khakis.
steps, and one's on a hammock, and
Yep.
one's got them rolled up, and one's got.
I was gonna say a couple of them. Yeah, a lot of ankles showing.
Wearing
Really?
Dockers. It was
Yeah,
just
it'd
such
be like right now.
no, and they were all like good-looking guys. It was just
Yeah,
such
it was a bunch of models wearing Dockers,
Yeah.
no shirts.
Yeah, it was just so. Stupid.
Maybe any shirt was at least unbuttoned.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
it was a real
Jerry is freaking out, like he can't stand it
Yeah.
now. this also reminds me of like the '90s Gap commercials. Remember how bad they were?
Yeah.
I kind of lumped these in together.
Yeah,
They were just so bad, man. It was just not even. Isn't Kanye supposed to bring Gap back?
Yeah.
Um,
Allegedly.
So Jerry's saying he hates commercials. She likes it. Jerry's literally in disgust. You like it, and she says, "Yeah, they're clever. You know, they're all
the dialogue rings true.
Yeah.
Yes, they're
You keep
casual.
saying
And
about how
that
it's
just, he's like,
Well, we all know. It'd be like if someone said that to us, we would like lose our shit.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And like the one where they're all casual and witty, he says.
Yeah.
Yeah. What could you like? And it's I agree. Like some shit like that'll make me hate something, make me never be a part of it or like it. I will not even. I will hate the appearance of your product so much I can't even think of using it because of a
Okay.
terrible commercial. You know what I mean? Because we'll harp on something till it's dead. That's what I mean. You know, so it's like I'm trying to think of something comparable right now, but you know, it slips my mind. So Jerry won't accept it. No men talk like that, he says.
Right.
Pants, Jerry says. And Donna's pissed. You can just tell.
Yeah.
You know, they don't even conclude the conversation. It just ends the scene. And this is based off of Jerry actually hates those commercials in real life.
No shit.
Yeah, and you know the way Jerry is, like, he's very, like, he's pretty much who he is in the show.
Right.
And, like, he hated it so much that, you know, they wrote this into the show. So then it cuts onto a next stand-up bit where Jerry's wearing the same thing from the first episode, the first stand-up bit from the show. It's about dating and magnifying faults. You know, you're dating somebody and everything's fine, and you see a crooked eyebrow.
Yeah.
I told you I had that girl that was telling me a story, and every time she'd bring up a dog, she would bark the dog's part instead of just saying, yeah, the dog was barking. And I'm like, so, if, for instance, she'd be like, yeah, you know, it was crazy. We went over there, and the dog was like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah." And then I was like, oh my God, it's crazy. That dog won't shut up. And the dog was just like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah." But I'm like, the way I would tell the stories, I would say, yeah, we went over there and the dog would not shut up. It was barking, and I thought it was crazy, and the dog was still just barking nonstop. She kept doing the fucking dog bark.
Yeah.
It was like part of it. And I'm like,
It's a little weird.
no, it's crazy to me, but I'm saying I will harp on that. I was like, I can't
Right. Get past
get
it.
past that because every time I see you just literally doing it, everyone at the bar was like, why is that girl fucking
strange.
doing the dog bark?
That is true.
That is
It was
weird.
wild. So anyway,
Super.
I get it.
Reasons to break up with people.
And yes, it was a very quick, like, that was a quick interjection. They were, like, still trying to fit the fucking stand-up into these episodes, but not,
Right.
they were getting shorter. So now it cuts back to Jerry and Elaine at Jerry's apartment. He's wearing a purple turtleneck with black denim. Jerry. Got that
Yeah.
fucking loves a turtleneck.
He wears turtleneck a lot.
He's got some Nikes on, some trainers, or
Right.
a cross trainer, you know, something easy. How can I? And he's talking about the commercial. How can I date someone that likes that commercial?
Someone likes that commercial.
Um,
It's bothering him.
yeah. And Elaine says she broke up with over someone with their house being dirty. I don't think that's
Which
crazy.
I think that's a much more.
That's
That's a good reason.
Again, I'm
Yeah.
not going to go into detail, but someone I was talking to once, I went to their house, and I'm telling you, I mean, it was utter squalor, if you will.
Really?
Yeah.
Not as in,
Squalor.
I want to say it was semi-situational because they were near a restaurant. So this would happen. We went over, lights were on, place looked a little messy. They had a roommate, you know, where they shared a room. So, like, the roommate was in their room. We went in her room. We're watching TV, hanging out. Lights go off in the middle living section because everyone's in rooms.
Yeah.
I go out to open up the fridge to get a beer. When that fucking fridge light hit that kitchen, the scattering of cockroaches was insane. So I open the fridge a little more. I look around. Bro, there must have been 30 mousetraps.
That's where I gotta go.
I mean,
Yeah.
amount of mousetraps where you call an exterminator. You don't just keep living with them. And the amount of roaches. Then I'm looking up and there's fucking. I go, what the fuck are these little cups with tea bags? And I go, yo, what is this? And she goes, oh, you hang these fucking they get the bugs up high. I go, oh.
I'm gone.
Yeah. That's where I hit. That's where I get it.
Jeez.
You know what I do? I go into my settings. I sample a fucking ringtone. Bring, bring.
Gotta go.
Yup, got to roll. And never again. You know what I'm saying? It was just the end. It was ending. But Elaine was talking about that. She's like, I broke up with someone because their house was dirty. That's so
That's
acceptable.
a valid
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah, I'm not.
100%
You know.
valid reason.
Oh, you know what's funny? Yeah, because she says the tub was dirty, and I wrote down here. I thought it was funny because Putty's a germaphobe later,
Yeah.
and Kramer cooked in a dirty tub, and
Yeah,
it's
he
just
cooked
funny
the
about these
salad.
little like
These little
things. I feel like they
Yeah.
like read old scripts and were like idea.
Right.
So this is where I have it written down, highlighted. George comes in, and George is wearing an outfit right now that's fire. I mean, it's like
He's got a jacket.
he's got on
Yeah.
the flannel with the raincoat, and he's got on the khakis with the Cortez.
Yeah.
the
But it's a
Cortez.
dope like
That's a
lilac.
He
classic
can work at
Georgia.
P's and Q's.
He
Right, yeah.
looks.
That's a classic George outfit.
Yes, he is.
You can
He
work
is
at
wearing
P's and
P's and
Q's.
Q's attire right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if Fran or Amir saw him, they would be
Yeah, they'd
You know.
have an outfit grid
yes.
in
So,
like 5 minutes.
He's
He's
just
got Pepto and fucking Alka-Seltzer. He's sick still.
yes, dude. He is
Yeah.
literally. I have with Pepto. He's going crazy. He's upset. And they show there's a weird chair in the background of Jerry's apartment.
There
I
is,
don't know
yeah.
why, but that thing's sitting there. And he just says, "Coffee is sex." You know, can't
Yeah,
call next
coffee's
day.
not coffee.
Yeah, coffee is not coffee. Coffee is sex, and it really is because there's no way. I mean, George is just he's an idiot. You know,
Yeah.
He missed it.
So Kramer walks in with an act idea. Again, this is like super
Right.
goofy Kramer still. Kramer's not fully Kramer yet.
It's like
He's
should've-
getting there though.
No, he's definitely
should've
getting there.
eaten
Yeah.
cheese omelets and stuff and sausages down here for
Yeah,
the
the guy-
last 20 years.
Yeah. He has the ambulance idea
Yeah,
in New
yeah.
York. You know, it's kind of funny. The
It is.
ambulance idea is kind of funny. His delivery was a little.
I just
off.
love how he says it, and then Jerry
saucy,
just stands
dude.
there, and Elaine's like cracking up.
Or she's like, well,
She's like, "It's pretty good," and
Yeah,
he's like,
Yeah, Jerry
I like
says,
my stuff.
Nah.
"Yeah."
So George starts kicking everyone out so he can make the phone call. And Jerry says, "No apples." You know what I mean?
No apples. Yeah.
And right here I have it again. I
Which
have-
we discussed briefly, me and Roman, how in Curb, Larry's, blithely eating an apple
yeah.
while he's talking to his
Incredible.
lawyer in his lawyer's office, and his lawyer calls him out on it.
Yes.
And he's just going to sit
garbage
there
can
blithely
versus trash
eating an
can.
apple.
You know,
he
there's a
won't let him
whole
use the
Because he
bathroom.
was discussing something. I forget what he was discussing.
fake
with him,
fruit.
but
broken
he was,
teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And again, I have it highlighted here. Great lilac flannel. George is killing it in this scene.
Yeah.
So he's psyched for the phone call. He gets the machine. He leaves a terrible message. Keeps talking, rambling. Real quick, okay. Do you guys leave messages often on?
I know.
Now
know right
or
now-
before?
If you
There's no reason to.
Well, you know right now if you press pound or star, usually it'll give you an option to re-listen to your message, pick back up on your message, or erase your message on any cell phone.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
That
Yeah.
would have been such a great option back then because
Back
I've
then,
left a
yeah.
shitty message on the phone before and then been like, damn.
I
sounded like
remember
an
when
idiot. I shouldn't have done
re-record
that.
started to become a thing, but that was
Yeah.
more or less like a model option.
Yes, if you could offer that with the yes.
Of a,
Remember, you couldn't always call and check your messages on everything. You had to,
No.
you know, that was another thing.
That
People
came
always had to
along.
call and check their messages.
Right. See, that was even before my time.
So he's leaving this bad message. It was fun. The ball's in your court. Like, this guy can't fucking stop saying terrible things to this girl.
yeah.
No, he's making a bad situation worse, and just
Yeah.
digging himself deeper.
So they come back in. He says, "I'm a dead man. Come listen to the idiot."
Come and listen to the idiot.
Yeah, the idiot.
The
Yeah,
red
idiot.
light's
Yeah.
blinking.
He's like, the idiot's on, and he shakes the phone.
Well, you would come home and you see it.
Yeah,
and
you
you're like,
see it,
wow,
that's
there
when
it
you
is.
check it.
Someone tell you just the blinking light was very early on. Then there was like numbers. It would
Right,
say.
right, yeah.
So, Elaine has the idea to steal the tape. She says her brother-in-law, again, mention of more family members. Elaine having sisters. Unless she was married.
She's mentioned
previously.
sisters.
Yeah, but they
Remember when she sends her nephew the picture of the fucking her Christmas picture?
Yeah, but we never see her family other than her
we
father.
never see any of them. No,
and then her mother was mentioned twice.
Yeah.
But that's kind of common in places like Manhattan where people come from other places to live and work. You know what I mean?
But I mean, you would almost think she had no family throughout the series.
Right. Well, it wasn't important.
Yes. This comes from Larry trying to replace machine on the tape on a girl's machine once.
Oh.
And he tried to write it into the SNL skit, as you said.
Right.
But Larry did that. It wasn't just a skit. Larry tried to do this.
Right.
And that's the funniest part. Like, we're on, 5 episodes season 1, 4 episodes now into season 2.
Yeah.
I'd say, if not all 9 of those episodes are based off of Larry's actual life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Maybe
I bet a lot of it
not
is
fully
based off of his
like,
actual.
the main plot of each episode is Larry being ridiculous. And, so Elaine says that her brother-in-law went up and stole the machine while the guy was busy. So they go, the next scene is Jerry's apartment. Jerry and Donna, as we said before, I was going to mention this. The only time you ever mention or see Jerry drinking, it's never mentioned, but it's wine. Maybe sitting there with a glass of wine or at dinner with wine, but it's never the focus of it. They never really focus on the drinking. But I have it written down, they're drinking wine. Jerry's wearing a huge red button-up. Again, they put him in shirts.
That he wears a red button-up a lot.
Yeah, a
does.
bright
He
red
does.
button-up. Yeah, so he's wearing that. What's that? All right, well, we'll take a little break while you do a tinkle. Me and Drew will do a little. There you go. That works that way. We'll do a little dab. We'll be right back. The word from our sponsors. Log, better than what it was. All right. Yeah, good thing he left. Siri, activate toilet camera. Finally.
I slept for like 8 hours. Stop, Roman. Dude, I'm really I'm so tired.
Well, that wouldn't.
Roman. No.
Yeah, but that
You
wouldn't
don't
be
really-
sleep.
you know,
sleep
you don't-
apnea would be a little different.
You
No,
don't
but
really.
sleep apnea keeps you. It stops you from getting REM sleep, so you are always tired.
Yeah, but it could also be a couple other things other than sleep apnea. Sleep apnea.
Well,
is
yeah.
pretty serious.
Do you wake up short of breath?
Not like
You know what? Go to listen to the Sleep Apnea podcast. Let's finish what the fuck we're doing here.
there's a sleep apnea podcast.
I'm sure there is. I guarantee you, there's
My
a
boy
fucking
had sleep
sleep
apnea.
apnea podcast.
Almost saying it, Roman. Calm down. So,
Getting to my favorite parts, man.
all right, so Jerry's rocking this fucking big red button up, and
Yeah.
Jerry claims to have never seen Lucy.
He's never seen one episode of I Love Lucy in its
Wow.
entirety ever. I totally buy that. I could claim that
crazy.
about a lot of shows.
I know, but that's crazy because you got to think, right?
It's crazy for his generation.
Yes, because there
He
was
didn't
so
have-
little on TV.
Right, he didn't have a whole
Dude,
lot.
'cause
Of
And
even
he's a
me, I
fucking
seen a bunch of
comedian.
episodes.
Like, he's a comedian.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Robert?
Absolutely crazy.
Have another
Absolutely crazy.
Smoke that down. to the end.
But
Delicious.
it's a great thing to claim.
No, it really is because she can't believe it.
I love
Now-
this banger.
George walks in. He's wearing a fucking straight up old man outfit though. He is totally fucking
Is
yeah. He misses no outfit points for this. He burst in, no buzz. He got into that building. You know, I noticed that. You know, the buzz in
He
the
doesn't
building
always
sometimes.
get.
Yeah,
George
sometimes you
doesn't
just
always
get in
a
there,
buzz.
which is true.
Yeah.
That could happen.
Sure.
So, George mentions the commercial right away to Donna.
Yeah, basically. Oh, he comes in and Jerry's in the bathroom.
Yeah,
Comes in.
And
Jerry's in the
he's
bathroom.
like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and she's like, "No, you can stay." And then he was like awkward for a second, and then almost immediately he's like, "Oh, you're the one who likes that Cotton Dockers commercial." And she's like, "What are you talking about? What? Oh, my friends tell me about the Cotton Dockers commercial." And then who comes in next? Elaine, right?
No,
Elaine
Kramer.
Kramer. Yes, Kramer.
Well,
and he
that's-
just
yeah.
goes, cotton knockers.
Well, the Adonis pissed.
the
She
best
flips
fucking
on
part.
Jerry.
Yes, yeah,
I
yeah.
can't
That's what
believe
it
he
is.
told him. This
Right,
happens
right.
so much. Like they fuck his shit up so much
Dude,
with
that's why I
girls.
love the timing of the show.
And
Is
Jerry
so
never,
good.
Jerry
And
never cares.
Because
she says
Kramer
the-
comes in, like you said, cotton dockers.
Yeah.
At the peak of how upset she is, the door opens and she just stops because she's like, obviously like a little startled, and he turns and he's like, cotton like the
Just
timing
piles
is
it on.
so
She's
good
mad.
that like
He's going, if they're not talkers,
Yeah.
they're just pants.
yes.
She leaves.
Yeah.
Jerry
goes-
doesn't care.
And she goes,
Jerry- yeah.
you didn't have to tell your friends I wasn't hip because I didn't like the commercial.
So
She goes, yes, I did. They didn't have to tell you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is the perfect.
It's
Yeah.
so true.
Yeah,
'Cause
of course
I'm going
it
to
is.
tell them.
Of course it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell my
I'm going to
friends.
tell my friends you like this dumbass commercial. Are you kidding me?
It's like the laugh. Hello.
Yeah,
hello.
of course, right.
Well,
Probably
the
not
hello
well.
and the laugh.
And that was my favorite. That's my favorite scene of the show.
Yeah,
that scene right there wins the episode for me because it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Cotton Dockers.
Mm-hmm.
He just blows up the spot, and George goes, "Oh Jesus!"
Yeah, because
Yeah, because George was trying to clean it up for a second,
Right, yeah.
and his effort just got shit on.
yeah, destroyed.
Right.
Yeah.
It just proves that they've all
Hilarious.
been talking about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Switches
It
to the
proves that
restaurant.
They've all been talking
They're at the
about
booth in the
Yeah.
restaurant right after that. Jerry and George. George keeps calling Carol and leaving messages.
Yeah.
Yeah, he keeps leaving terrible messages.
And
He's
he's
digging
explaining,
the hole. He says she was in the Hamptons.
Yeah.
She,
She's never gotten any
yeah,
messages.
she was worried I wasn't calling her. Her messages. She's not getting on her.
He says
machine's
she
broken.
doesn't have the beeper for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which could mean one of a couple of things. A, used to have it like people wore beepers and the machine would beep the beeper to notify you that you had messages.
Okay.
There was also a way to call your own machine and hit a number maybe after the beep or something of that nature.
My dad knew how to do that and
you
wouldn't
were-
tell us.
Right. Yeah, it was so secretive.
It was
My
secret.
mom had something similar going on for the longest
We were
time.
down the shore and
So
I heard him
stupid.
listen to him. I said, "You can do that," and he goes, "Yeah." And I went, "I remember. I think I was even maybe told once, and then I forgot. But it was one of the things you just want to know how to do." And yeah, it was like the
So
garage
so
door.
when
Yeah.
when he says like she didn't have the beeper for it, that's
Right.
that's what they're
Yeah.
what they're talking about.
And then he's like, well, then he goes into, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And he pulls out the tape. And Jerry goes, Elaine's
the
thing?
Elaine thing.
And-
Yes.
Yeah.
But he busts that tape right out. Boom.
Yeah,
and
dude.
now I have a few things written down here because, again, I didn't know if you'd ever seen any of these full-size tape answering machines. You probably saw the little tape
Micro,
ones.
yeah, not full size.
Yeah. So, they want to do the old switcheroo. He asks Jerry to help. He calls him a wuss.
Yeah.
Jerry won't do it.
But he said that earlier in the episode, remember?
Because
Because Lloyd called him a wuss.
wuss.
Right.
So the
He
wuss is
goaded
being
him
thrown
into
around.
it.
Yeah.
It is a strong word
Yeah.
back then. It's kind of like sissy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Someone calls you sissy in
Oh, yeah.
1978
you're fucked.
through
man.
86.
Yeah.
You do it.
Right.
That was when like a double dog dare in the 80s had
Had meaning.
it had weight.
Had weight.
Yeah.
It was before the internet, man. All that shit before the internet. The internet comes
Sure.
along and nothing matters anymore.
Yeah, basically.
Not matters.
I mean, what do you say a double dog dare? Who cares,
Then someone hits you with triple nipple
But that's what I'm
dog
saying.
dare.
Like, who gives a fuck?
Oh my
Like
god.
now, you know what I mean?
No, you say double dog dare. I go, I double dog dare you to shut the fuck
yeah,
up.
or you're like, I do it or I'll beat the shit out of you, and that's a different
You
story.
know, it's crazy. So Jerry can't take it. He has to help him now.
Yeah.
They switch to the next scene at Carol's building
Yes, they're outside.
Jerry's
This is a good
bundled
scene.
up
This is a good scene.
in a red scarf, and they're discussing the whole caper here.
Yeah.
You know, what's going to go down, how they're
What are
going
they
to do
gonna
it.
do? We have to have a
Signal.
code. That's a
Safe
signal.
word.
A signal. Yes.
Yeah, signal or a safe word.
Yes. And he says, What is he? What
How
the
do
first
you
song?
solve a
He
problem
says, yeah,
like
he's
Maria?
gonna sing
George-
How I Solve a Problem
second
Like
time he's
Maria.
singing
Love
a show tune.
Yeah, love
He's
show tunes.
he's always.
What did he have stuck in his
referencing
head last episode?
A song from Les
Oh,
Mis.
yeah, Les Mis. Master of the House.
Right.
Master of the House.
Right,
Now, how do you
right,
solve
right.
a problem like
He's always-
Maria?
Yeah, and he's having a problem like Maria. And this is what I love about it, because Jerry's like, no. Like, why? Who
Let-
cares? You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
like what
who-
the-
Well,
and
no,
he's-
no, I'll tell you why I care and why it matters. Because if fucking me and you or all three of us are doing something and fucking all of a sudden you start singing that, I'm calling shenanigans. If
Yeah, I
I'm
guess
the,
that's
if
fair.
I'm the
Right.
KP,
Right.
not the Cape
yeah,
Earth.
yeah.
So I'm like, yo, what is that? And Jerry's right. Lemon tree. But is that what he says? Or does he say a
He
different
says,
song?
no,
first?
he says Lemon Tree.
But then doesn't he say the song, not the word, lemon tree? Because
Yeah.
they say another song to sing right after
He
that.
says tippy toe.
No, well, he says Lemon Tree. He says they're going to sing Lemon Tree. And he's like, by Peter, Paul, and Mary. And he's like, no, by
Yes.
whoever it is.
That's
And
what I'm saying.
then-
Then it goes to tippy toe.
Yeah, and then they're like, what about we just say Tippy Toe?
Yes.
Right.
And he's
Jerry
like, how are
goes-
you going to work that in to a conversation or something? Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right, but how are you going to work in these songs?
Well, that's what I'm
What?
saying. It's
Lemon
almost more
Tree?
like if
Two
you
options
just
of Lemon Tree?
suddenly started singing a song, it almost seems more realistic than suddenly when you're like
Tippy toe.
Tippy Toe. You know what I mean?
True.
But
But
yeah.
he goes on, he makes sure that he's good. Jerry goes, small tape, big tape,
Yeah,
we're ready to go.
micro.
I
Ready
mean,
to go.
Jerry's a
Full-size
good
micro.
wingman
Yeah,
on
he's
this.
prepared.
Because he didn't want to do it, but Jerry's pretty on point, so if he's going to help you with something, it's probably going to be good. So there's a problem. She shows up. They want to go
Yeah.
right to dinner. And she's
Yeah,
like,
she's
"Hey,
like,
doorman
whatever,
will take
I'm
the
good."
bag." She
Yeah.
don't even want to go upstairs.
She's downplaying it, right?
And she's
like,
so
"Yeah,
happy
yeah."
to see George.
I know.
This could have been seen as
Yeah.
creepy, but she is happy. Clearly, right there, I go, she
feel
didn't
it.
see the message yet.
right,
What do we do?
obviously, yeah.
I just go, hey, how about... I would have gone, I'm going to get it right after dinner. She didn't hear it yet. Let's just go over.
Right.
Maybe
Right,
we go back
yeah,
to my place.
yeah.
Maybe go back to her place. But if we go back to her
Yeah,
place, that's
If
where
you go
I
back
take
to
it.
your
I go
place,
audible.
we're fucked. Yeah.
I call audible. Because at this point now you're asking to go upstairs. It's weird.
See, back then though, you had reasons to go. He could have said he'd make a phone call.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then that
No, he
draws
did.
attention to
And
the
then there's a
phone.
payphone
Right.
in the lobby.
Oh,
Yeah.
He mentions a phone call.
Yeah,
And
and
that's where
then
he goes,
he has to use the bathroom.
he has to use the bathroom, and, he's got a public toilet.
he
phobia.
has a phobia. He has-
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, he's got a public toilet phobia. And she's
My
pretty understanding.
my entire life, as a kid growing up, I never shit in school.
really? Oh,
Never once ever.
Dude. Day one,
I'm
I was
proud of
firing off shits in Capitol.
You know where I used to blast them off?
Where?
Nurse's office.
Okay.
Yeah, true.
I would ask the nurse, I'd be like, can I use the bathroom in here? And she'd be like, yeah. I'd go in there, fire off a dump, bro. Yo,
Fuck yeah.
I would
Yo.
fire off, because she had like 3 of them in there.
We had nurses that had to like split their time between like 2 others.
Yes, yeah, they hated
So
everyone.
they were never there any fucking way.
See, my high school, there was just like, you just go in, and most of the time, it was just broken. Like 90% of the time, the bathroom, the toilet was broken, or like the stall door had been kicked in by a kid
Yeah.
and destroyed. You know what I mean? And there would just be things shoved into toilets and just refuse everywhere. And so you're like,
There's
fuck
a
it,
lot of
I'm
smoke
good.
too.
Oh well, yeah,
Um,
that too. Pills, all that.
It's funny because after she agrees that, she understands he's got a toilet phobia, they go upstairs.
Yeah.
They've agreed on tippy toe. And, I mean, it looks like it's about to happen. George asks to talk to her in the other room. She comes firing back in. Tippy toe, tippy toe, tippy toe.
Yeah.
She recognizes Jerry.
From TV.
From TV.
Yup.
Yeah.
So George calls her back. That's so rude, he says. He's
Yeah.
very offended.
So rude.
So rude of you. Calls her back. And it's so funny because Jerry replaces it. And she's walking out. She says, George, why would you tell me that your father
father
wears
wears
sneakers in the
the
pool?
pool, which comes back later. Remember? They're trying to one up each other. And he's like, my mother never laughed once.
My father
And he
wears
said,
sneakers.
my father wears sneakers in the pool. Sneakers.
And she just looks at him. And she goes, by the way, your messages are hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole thing was
He's like,
for
me and my friend.
the whole
love
thing
this.
was for not
The whole thing was for naught.
bringing
Different
it full
though.
circle. Almost.
Yo, but the funny
Almost. Well,
thing
they
is-
had not in-
the funny
it-
thing is-
it's involved.
Yo,
Yeah.
It's
Like-
involved. It's related.
you had one of those
Yeah, but-
machines at home, right?
Yeah.
You would totally know if there was a different tape in there.
I was thinking that because he takes out a clear tape, puts it on
And
a black
then
tape
like,
or so- or
and
vice
then
versa.
the new tape doesn't have anything on it.
Nothing
Has no,
on it.
Yeah,
no
like
message.
you were gone for the weekend and
Yeah, you would,
nobody
and you would just go, "You guys are the only ones who did this."
Yeah, like
no
you
way.
guys
Yeah.
stole my message.
You know what's crazy? You know what I did a few times? I changed the outgoing message to my liking.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then some people called for important phone calls to the house, and they were like, "Why is this kid on here playing fucking Lord Tyreek and Peter Guns as the end?" Bro, I would put in
Yeah,
rap
no.
songs. Yo, you would have to
Tyreek
listen
and
to
Peter Guns.
40 seconds of a rap song.
Yo,
New York,
Ah,
we got
yeah.
love for all line dying. And they're like, why am I listening to this before I have to leave?
yes. No, my
Leave
boy
the
used to do that.
family a
My
message.
boy used to do that, and it would be him and his family, and they'd be like playing guitar and shit.
Oh no, mine was different. I would do that, and then I would threaten you if you didn't leave a message.
What?
Yo, don't leave a message, and we're gonna have fucking big problems.
What about like would you ever? Do,
Yo,
like,
I'll fucking don't leave a message, and there's
no,
serious
you know the
problems
joke,
coming.
John. You know the joke.
Oh,
John?
yeah,
You're
hello?
like, hello. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I did that on my parents' phone call.
Oh, my
Or my
boys
parents'
did
joke.
that a bunch of times.
Yeah,
They used to call
yo,
me
my
like, hello?
grandfather would get caught up in it every time. That motherfucker would have conversations.
Yeah, he was probably pissed.
Oh, dude, he'd be telling us people died. Fucking Glip Glop from that fucking sissy from down the street died. Yeah, you know.
No. Yeah, dude. Fucking, I used to change that shit all the time. Yo. My mom would always change it back.
So, well, real quick. So it's about to end because that just brings the whole
Yeah,
thing
that's-
together,
yeah.
and it goes to the last scene where Jerry's doing stand up again, and what does he say? He says he wish he was an answering machine. I don't know what the fuck he fucking was talking
Yeah.
about. But he talks about how he doesn't like cordless phones because you can't slam them on
Can't
people
slam
anymore.
them down.
That used to be
Boom.
a thing. Boom, you slam that fucking phone.
and then you had to play.
I remember the last
Yo.
cord and
In-
standard phone.
In my grandmother's house, in the upstairs hallway, there was a table, and it had this old black phone. This phone weighed like 40 pounds.
Yeah,
It was
they were heavy as shit.
crazy heavy.
Did it have the dial on it?
I fucking right at a
Rotary.
rotary.
Rotary,
Yeah.
yes. Because
Yo,
that was
the,
ours.
The cord was like thick. It was like thick like your finger.
Yeah.
When we went to this,
Crazy.
it looked like a rotary setup with this hang-up style, but they added the dial pad to it.
Oh, I remember those.
And
Sure.
it had the long cord. It was beige.
You
Then
could
we
slam
had
that too,
we had but then you had the kitchen phone,
the kitchen one,
which
sure.
was just the same phone but this way.
Yeah.
And remember, you would get the long cord on it.
Yes, I was about to say that. My aunt
There's
had
a
the
skit
ultra
about that where
long
they're
cord.
walking around the whole house in the cord.
Yes, with
But
the
I'm
cord
talking, like,
just trailing behind.
from
my
my
aunt used to
mom
have
because
that.
my mom would always be on the phone back then. I mean, it was a thing.
Yeah.
It was like hours on
Yeah.
the phone with like her sisters and shit.
Oh yeah, no, that was a thing.
and
back
I mean,
then, sure.
dude, that cord
Before
would bend around
cordless
the
phones
corners.
Yeah, it
were
would like
big.
go out of the room and shit. It
Oh,
was
dude,
crazy.
yeah.
And then
well,
remember-
you'd stretch a 20-foot cord into a 50-foot
Yes,
cord.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
It
my
didn't
aunt
even
used to have that.
it didn't even
That shit was
retract
crazy.
anymore. It was just long
Yeah, 'cause
stretched
it got all
coils.
stretched out,
Yeah, it was like a fucking pile of rope under
Yes.
this motherfucker.
It would literally
They would get-
hang
they would
down.
get knotted.
No, yeah,
You had to get
that's
the
crazy.
jack, John.
Yes.
That kept it from nodding.
Nodding, yes. And then remember, they started to have the cordless with the big long antenna at
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Oh, that
screwed-
thing was crazy.
That broke. It would always break. It sucked.
You know what? I
Battery
don't remember.
life was like 7 minutes.
I don't remember one good cordless phone in the 15
There
years of cordless phones.
No,
'Cause then
I
we-
had a decent one.
They would
toward
start
the
to get
end.
cheap, and you just replace them cheap. You'd
Well,
go
that
get.
was the thing. Yeah, they started getting like $20.
Yup.
No,
Yeah.
my
And
mom-
once that was it, forget it.
It was.
My
Yeah.
mom had like a new cordless phone, and I was fucking with it, and I realized you could change the ringtones. So I made the thing go diddling ding ding diddle diddling ding ding diddle.
How much trouble did you get in?
It did a whole. It went on for like 5. It was like dun 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 dun
Yo,
dun
your
dun
mom,
dun dun
you were-
dun 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 dun. It would be done, and then it would start over. And my mom never figured out how to change it, and it was that way until we got rid of it. I'm talking like 3 or 4 years.
So wait, did she just think it was that way?
No, because it went for the first like month we had it. Because I didn't
she
have any
pissed?
entertainment as like for real as a kid.
Yeah, well,
like
you had wooden
I'd be
blocks.
like, go outside and shoot your wooden guns, or do nothing, or read. So I would just fuck with shit. Like I would just be walking like
Steal another animal.
yeah, I would just be in the house like fucking with shit. I used to watch the DVD for the Maytag thing. We had like the Maytag
Why did
instructional
your
DVD.
parents like choose to play farm in like the 5th largest city in the world.
I
Like,
don't know.
why did they just
No,
go?
I used to literally
Iowa.
be so bored. I would watch instructional videos, like DVDs that came with appliances and shit. And then I would.
Those are the only. You had a DVD player, but no DVDs.
No. We would get DVDs like from the library and shit.
But you had a DVD player.
Yeah, to watch the Davy Jones from the library and shit.
Oh my god!
But anyway,
That's
no,
like when people used to have to rent VCRs, Drew.
no, we would like rent movies and shit. But
The
like,
last blockbuster.
no, but like we would just fucking.
Watch
good.
It was
I would just watch fucking instructional videos from like household appliances, and then I would fucking fuck with shit.
The
And I would
Magic
just-
bullet.
And I was just fucking with the fucking phone one day, and I was like, "Oh shit, you can put ringtones on this shit," and I just like fired one up. My mom never figured out how to turn it
What
off.
the fuck?
It was crazy, and it would go off like if you were in the middle of the night and someone called in the middle of the night, like, it would just go on if you didn't answer. It would just play the whole song.
Well, that's how the episode ends. Jerry talking about slamming the cordless phone.
Yeah.
So, we already mentioned a few things about this episode. Another little quick fact, a little tidbit, a little ditty. This was the weakest episode to date, I guess, or maybe of this season. It had 13 million views, usually 18 to 22, and it almost got canceled. This might have been where Mr. Dalrymple popped in.
Really?
This was the after Cheers slot?
No. It was moved after Cheers and did way better, and they ordered a full season after that.
Really?
But this almost got the show fucking canceled, and I wonder if they fucking released that Bet Gun episode. Like, that right now, in hindsight, would have been fucking classic.
Yeah.
But what if they released that and they either did well
got
or they were like,
canceled.
"Yo, fuck this show, we're not
Yeah.
dealing with this."
Well, it's very
Um,
interesting that this almost got it canceled because this is like my favorite episode so far.
Well, it's great. It's a good episode.
Yeah.
Gina Hecht, Hecht. Yeah, Hecht. She auditioned for Donna, who was Jerry's girlfriend in this episode, right? Or was Carol?
No.
George and Carol. Or George and Donna, Jerry and Carol.
Jerry and Donna.
Yeah,
Okay,
George
so
and
she
Carol.
Donna's
auditioned-
Cotton Dockers.
Yes.
Yeah.
She auditioned for Donna, and Gina Hecht. And she was later George's shrink in Dana Foley in the pilot episode.
Okay.
So she didn't get picked for Donna, and
Yeah, shit, the shrink. didn't
which
like
is
the
often as
script.
we listen to Sopranos podcast. I think they just make a list of everybody and they just call you right back because it's like if you don't get picked for one thing, you almost always get picked for
Yeah.
something a few seasons
Right,
later.
I know.
And it's like, they're like, they already auditioned, they already are into it. Let's call them and
Yeah,
go.
we know.
Yeah.
it.
Because that happens a lot in this too. They'll be like, this person auditioned
Yeah.
for that and got picked for this role,
And there
but
was a lot of repeating characters.
yeah. So that was episode 4. And that's perfect timing because our cameras are dying again. Is that both of them dying?
No, that one's good. So
Okay, well, let's finish it up. I know we've been showing off some fucking Seinfeld merch. Let's show something real quick before we go.
I think all the cameras are dead.
no, that one's still there. That
Oh,
one's
do
still
we?
alive.
Just grabbing something random here, but so here you go. 2 versions of Seinfeld playing cards. We got the
Frank Costanza.
the Frank
Festivus
Costanza, the
edition.
Jerry Stillers. I got 2 of them. We got a dead stock and an open one. Someone at the store got these for me, and then I found another one in the mall. And then I have these. I haven't opened them yet, but
Ooh, that's nice.
yeah,
Oh, those are very nice.
yeah, these ones are a little different. They honestly, for all I know, I've never even really.
They
looked
might
at
be the
these.
same.
It might be the same fucking cards. I don't think they are, but they might be. But yeah, so we got a bunch of little dumb Seinfeld things. We always collect and shit. A bunch of other cool shit on the way. So
Very true.
yeah, again, thank you everyone for listening. We'll be back next week with another one.
Absolutely. It's
We'll
always
be
a
back.
pleasure.
It is,
Roman,
that's
you want to take us out, dude?
apartment 5A on podcast on IG.
On
Yes.
Instagram, follow us. Give us
Yeah,
a
follow
follow.
us.
We're firing off
Post some
followers
shit,
that-
send it to us. We'll
Yeah, fuck
repost
yeah,
it.
Tag us.
We're coming at you soon with these episodes.
Fire
So
off in the comments. Fight people in the comments. We love that.
yeah, talk shit.
Yes.
Get it in. And yeah, I guess Roman can take us out now, right?
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Oh, that was a good one.
Good job.
There you go.
All right, everybody. Have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye. Take it easy.